I got a package today from a friend that I did a little tool trade with, and he sent me some end mills before, and he sent me some more end mills. We're doing another little trade. So, nice stack of end mills there. Some doubles from very small, like I did measure it. Like this one's 3/32, clear on up here to about 3/4. What it looks like 3/4. Some are used. These ones have been resharpened. This one's got a interesting little grain on it. Let's see if I can get it over the white. Not very good at that. Anyway, it's like a little T-slot cutter. This one's got another interesting grain on it. So this one's got a reduced diameter ground on it in the end. But these ones look either brand new or were coated after resharpening. These are all nice and sharp. These have been resharpened. This one's got a cheap chip in it. It needs a lot of care there to get that one back going. But these are some roughing end mills. These ones are carbides. Thank you, David. And I'm finishing up dovetail cutter for you, and we'll get it in the mail to you. And this one here, this one's it's a kind of a mystery tool. It looks like this one's really kind of cool. Let's see if I can get it close enough. It has a very tiny adjustment right here, almost like a boring head, and then this cutter. And I don't know what's underneath there, so we're going to discover what what's under there. Oh, it's got a piece of, brazed on carbide right there, cutting edges right there, cutting edges here. So that's for boring down a hole, and then you can do a counter bore, I would say, something like that. An adjustable there with an adjustment. Pretty cool. And it's even indexed markings. So that's, you can adjust the counter bore almost like a little mini boring head. How cool is that? Made, oh boy, more good, and it has a number on it. More good. Yeah. Well, we'll have to test that out on something. Thank you, David. Like I said, well, I'm working on your dovetail color right as we speak. Another package showed up. And this is from Ryan, IL Gopher on YouTube. He has his own channel. Ryan Wasala in Illinois there, and he has his own YouTube channel. And I'll put the link up for Ryan. Visit his channel. He does some machining and stuff, and he's been working on some projects. So. Make sure you stop by his channel there. But he sent me some couple of 1-inch laid dogs. I have 0 laid dogs. Now I have some 2 1-inch ones. Williams, very nice shape actually. Look almost brand new. And a smaller one here. I don't know what made it, but it's a 5/8 is what it's designed for. I checked it with a piece of stock there. You could probably do a 1/2 inch in there also. It's not very long set screw, but 5/8 is just right. So I now have a few laid dogs. Thank you, Ryan. Very nice of you to send those on to me. Ryan also sent this large cutter. It has 12, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 insert spots or holder spots. And let me get a wrench. So 12 insert spots, and I have a wrench here. Now this insert is just a no. It's what is that? I don't know. It's not square. It's just barely not square. It's a diamond, but it's what? It's probably like 85 degree or something. I mean, it's not very much. I didn't measure this one. It's just a flat with a a relief on the back, piece of carbide insert. Anyway, it actually fits it fits in here quite nice as far as the size of the insert that it takes. It's probably big like that. So this insert, I would say, is very close to an IC of 0.75. So thereabouts a 3/4 of an inch IC on that insert. So that's a big insert, but boy, it fits in there like it was made for an insert that size. With the back support, it could have been made for next size down, but there's quite a bit of reveal on that back edge that's not supported. So maybe the next size down. But there's clamps in there, wedges in there. But these are wedges. Set it in the seat and clamps in there. Inch and a quarter bore, double keyway, but they're not 180 degree out keyways. There's an edge profile. I don't know if you can tell. There you go. It's not dished out here, so if it was a face mill, there'd be just a small flange or on there, for a face type mill. But pretty interesting. I'm going to see what I can do some research on, see if we can come up with some inserts, or if anybody else has any idea. There's no other marks on this thing as far as who makes it or anything. Diameter is 5.25 inches. Like I said, that's an 1.25 inch bore. Be nice to figure out what inserts, because one thing you can do is you remove all these wedges. You can put in one insert. I didn't need to make an arbor for it. You could use one insert and use it as a fly cutter on the mill there. So I might even just try it with just make an arbor and maybe try it with this one insert even. But yeah, be kind of neat. Anybody's got any ideas? Let me know. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks again. Thank you again. We'll figure this out. So in the lathe here, I have a piece I've turned and drilled out. It's in the 4-jaw chuck here. I'm going to make a Morse taper number 3 adapter with a straight outside, so I can hold a piece. Actually, I'm going to hold an old drill in there, and I'm going to be cutting it off, and then I want to bore it out and make a number 3 to Morse taper number 2 adapter. So this is my holder for putting it in the chuck. So like I said, I've already turned the outside and I just drilled it out. So now I'm realigning it up. They were turned and stuff at the same time. So this is for Razor Ray. So I have it 4-jaw chuck, and I have it aligned ray, and I'm turning it. Do you see the needle move? It's moving maybe about 1 to 2, a couple tenths. It's moving a couple tenths. So I can't argue with that. That could be even playing the bearings, a couple tenths at the most. So there you go, Ray. Aligned. So I set my cross slide up with a sine bar, hopefully close to the the Morris, number 3 Morris taper. It's like so it's supposed to be 1 degree, 26 minutes and 16 seconds. Well, you know, that's pretty tough to measure, but I did my best. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to be cutting this in reverse because of the way I set my angle. So it cuts the tape. Cuts the taper. I'm just going to be using the cross slide. I was going to use a taper attachment, but there's a few issues I'm going to have to work on. So this is going to be some more projects, it looks like. Let's give it a try. This is one of those weekly Ketchup kind of videos. Boring is very boring. Out here on the end, I'm going to shoot for 0.938 is the diameter, and we're going to measure what it is right now. I think it's just under 3/4 right now. You can only measure stuff when you got a damn mic somewhere close by. So we're at 705. So I have about 233 thousandths on the diameter to come off. So it's quite a bit. I'm going to touch this and calibrate the dial. So it's going to be like 116 on the dial. So it's going to be all hand-fed stuff. So it's going to take a little bit to do. I think I'll measure. I'm at 864. I'm going to do that one more time just to double check it here. I didn't make a plug gauge or anything. This is just a holder to hold it in here so I can machine it. Yeah, about 864. So that's about how far that sticks in. It's about halfway. Lady's very quiet with get rid of all the running gear. Disengage the feed mechanisms. About 33 thousandths more to go. So we're just going to do this one cut. I'm going to do 15 instead of what it calculates at. Just go real slow. Whacked it off first with the bandsaw. Cut right off real nice. So we should be able to face and drill and all that stuff real good. So we're just gonna whack that in there. That's tight. So I'm going to drill it out to a 1/2 inch, which is smaller than the end of a tang on a number 2 Morris taper even. That way I know I got most of the metal out because 5/8 would be too big, so I'll go to a 1/2 inch, and that gets me most of it, and then we'll bore the rest at the proper angle. Now we'll have to set up for a new angle on the compound, and we'll get all ready to bore. Okay, this is a setup for the angle for the number 2 Morris taper on the sign bar on top here of the compound. And that's a 1/2 thousandths indicator. It might be moving a 1/10, and that's just because of the movement back and forth on it. I think it's like right on the money. Boy, that should come out good. So that looks pretty good. Now we'll get set up to make a cut. Hey, there's the setup, huh? My spacer. Now I actually measured that out to make sure it's the right thickness, you know, and then I clamped the sign bar on. There's a parallel clamped onto the side of the compound, and then the sign bar and everything's clamped here so it can't move. Nice and solid. It's such a small amount I had to use feeler gauges and a gauge block. Alright, I got a pretty hokey boring bar set up. We're going to be turning backwards again and cutting that angle. We'll see how this goes. I actually have to take out, I drilled it to, it's about 500 right now, 1/2 inch, and I need to take it out to 0.7. So a couple 100 thousandths have to come off. We'll see how this goes. I have very lousy boring bars. I have one good one, but it's too big. Let's probably do really light cuts here. It would help. No, that's going the right way because I have the boring bar upside down. Sorry, so I have to turn it counterclockwise, normal way. Alright, I think I'm there. That feels really good. I can't feel any play at all, really. None whatsoever. So this is a relatively new drill. That's boy, that feels great. Now I don't have I'll have to do something to be able to either put a hole in the end or something so I can always get a drill out of the adapter, but so I'm going to call it good. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to clean up do a little cleanup there. So always the big question is it ready to come out of there? I guess so. Yeah, it's one of those things. What the heck? Yeah, I had it cranked in there pretty good. That's the for the Morris taper number 3, sticking out the back end there. Just one little smack, we should be able to knock that off. Okay, let's give that a whack. Came right out. Well, we can always use that. It's that'd be a little handy little thing to have. At a straight adapter. And this is our now Morris taper 2 to 3 adapter. I'll have to clean that out a little bit. There's stuff in there, but it doesn't look bad. Feels pretty good in there. Fairly smooth. A little bit. We had a little harmonics going, but not too bad. I changed the boring bar for that last cut, so that helped a lot. I was able to. That came out pretty good in there. We just gotta give her a try out. So I took. I only have 4 number 2 taper drills anyway, so I took them all and put them in there and marked them where they go. They all end at the same place with the tang. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna put a hole in here, and then I'm gonna make a little special wedge that I could take in there and smack that out. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this tang on here because that's helpful to get it out of things, and I'm just going to put a hole in here and then make a special part round wedge and harden it and be able to just tap that punch in there and knock them out. So we got this strange cutter deal there from David Calabretta, and I kind of took it apart, so I'm going to kind of show you. I hope there's enough light here. So this is a carbide cutter. Right here's another carbide cutter, and it's offset a little bit. It's just a little bit, I think, farther out than that one. Then right here, this thing here is adjustable, and it's a little carbide cutter. It's got some little ding in it, but little carbide cutter. So, and in the back is this lock screw, so you loosen it or undo it. But I'm going to take it apart. I'll show you. So take that little locking screw out. Then this whole thing comes apart. Little pieces here, little pieces. This is actually 3 pieces. This part here is where the lock screw goes in, right here. And that's the cutter part. And that screws in the bushing. Very difficult to see this, probably. Then this lock ring here. I'll screw this apart. So there's the cutter piece comes out, and it has a key that is in this to maintain its orientation, actually. And then this is a bushing and this indexing ring that are together here. I won't take it apart, but it is screwed together. So this goes in the middle again. I don't know if you can see down in there, but there is a little tiny key way, and that's where the cutter piece goes into that, and then the indexing ring. So the indexing ring goes in this outer bore with that little notch, and there's a pin on this indexing ring, and that goes in there. You're gonna get them all lined up. Down in there. Kind of interesting, huh? So you can adjust that, how much that's out. And then you lock it in place. I think I got the cutter backwards. No, that's right. That's the right orientation. So, well, that's pretty interesting. And then that sticks out even farther than these. So you go maybe bore down a hole, and then it does a little bit of a counter bore and another counter bore type of thing. I don't know, but pretty interesting. Anyway, if anybody has any ideas, it's More Good is the name, and it's 8-1323443 is the number on there. Kind of interesting. Never seen one. Alrighty, guys.